Hey, remember the good old days when people would do literally anything to entertain themselves? Like, sure, we have video games and Netflix now, but back in the 16th century, if you were a bored Russian noble, you'd look around and go, you know what seems fun? Throwing a fox. That's right, fox tossing. A sport so wild it makes bungee jumping look like a gentle nap. But just like every good idea in history, it came from a time when people were like, let's take an animal and see how far we can launch it into the air. Now imagine you're an aristocrat in 16th century Russia. Your life consists of wearing furs, staring at your fancy hat collection, and thinking, I'm so bored. Then one day you overhear someone say, hey, I've got a great idea. What if we grab a fox and throw it? You know, just throw it. As far as you can. Sounds ridiculous, right? But apparently this was peak entertainment. The rules were simple. Grab a fox, swing it around like it's a stress ball, and launch it into the air. That's it. Just a fox flying through the air like a fuzzy, angry frisbee. So a nobleman would grab a fox by the tail, swing it around, and toss it into the air. You'd think the fox would be like, no thanks, and just sprint away, but no. These foxes were often trapped or prepared for the toss. Imagine that meeting with the fox. All right, buddy, we're going to throw you through the air for fun, and you might not make it out alive. Got it? And get this wasn't just a one-time thing. People were competing to see who could throw a fox the farthest. So you have people standing around, maybe sipping vodka, just going, I can toss that fox at least 15 meters. You want to bet? That's easy. I can launch him into the next county. Please, I could send that fox straight to Moscow. And at some point, the fox population was at risk from the sport, which actually makes me feel bad for them. Why kill him when you don't eat him? Because what says classy aristocratic fun, like throwing a wild animal through the air like a frisbee? It wasn't just any throw either. The form was important. You couldn't just heave the fox like a beanbag. You needed technique. You had to fling that fox with precision, making sure it landed wherever. And yeah, they never really had the whole landing safely thing figured out. But hey, you can't blame them. It's hard to make a sport out of flying animals and still have them land in one piece. And as you might imagine, it wasn't exactly the most humane sport. People eventually realized, hey, maybe launching foxes isn't the best idea. And that's the sad, weird, and slightly hilarious tale of fox tossing. So next time you're feeling bored, just remember, it could always be worse. You could be a 16th century Russian noble trying to break your own record of hurling a vicious fox into the air. I'll pass on that one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And as always, keep your animals on the ground. Always.